When I was uploading the video other day about this EGR problem, later I found that the video sort of got messed up halfway. So I'm just trying to complete this video, just trying to catch up where the video went messed up. So basically what I got is 2 channel for my lap scope on the EGR valve. So there's 5 wires in that plug. So the back 2 wire, which is blue, and I think it's a red wire, they are for the EGR valve. The front 3 wires, which is brown, white and gray, is for your position sensor. So we're not worried about that. We're just going to focus on EGR valve. So right now I have my scope hooked up, so I'll get you the shot of the screen for you guys. So I got my 2 channel, blue and red, plus minus 20 volt scale. So what I'm gonna do is just turn the key on and let you guys see what it does. Well, that didn't do much, so I'm just gonna start the car. Yes, that's better. So I didn't have a good connection on that back probe. So now we got some signal. I'm just gonna change the time. Alright, so as you can see at the moment, the blue trace is going from 0 to 12 volts, so basically it's a duty cycle square wave. But if you wait a little bit, the bottom red trace will also act like a power, like you just saw it there. They can switch power and earth interchange when it needs to change the position back and forth. So in this particular design, like I explained to you on the whiteboard earlier, yeah, you can put power and earth on the both wire, and the both wire goes to the computer, so the computer is switching back and forth power and earth. So now we know this, the wiring is good. The computer is trying to control this EGR. So we're not really focused on the wiring and the computer itself, computer control. Now we're going to focus on EGR valve itself. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put power and earth on that EGR valve manually. So I'll do it while the car is running. Doesn't matter, I don't know which ways the valve's going to move, because like I said, it can have power and earth on both wires, so I don't know which way the valve's going to move when I put power and earth. So we're just going to switch the power and earth once we try one way or another way. And then when the car's running, if the EGR valve is actually opening physically inside, that we can't see at the moment without pulling apart things, the engine will try to stall, or it will go really rough, or sometimes it will stall. That means it's pulling the exhaust gas into the intake, if that makes sense. But if it's not changing revs, or engine doesn't try to go rough, we know that valve's physically not open, or there is a lot of carbon buildup, and the pores are choked with carbon. That's why there's not enough flow even if the EGR valve's open, if that makes sense. So I'm going to show you that test quickly. So for this test I'm going to need some jumper wire. So let me grab some jumper wire. So now I have my jumper wires connected to battery. So this is my earth and this is my power directly connected to battery. So I'm just going to put the power and earth on that valve itself and we'll see what it does. You can hear that motor running, the EGR valve running, so that means we know the electrical part of the EGR valve is doing something. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to start the car and do the same thing. I'm going to energize that EGR and see if the engine goes rough. Alright, I'm going to energize that EGR now. And engine doesn't seem to go rough or try to stall, so I'm going to switch the polarity of the power and earth. I just turned the engine off both ways. Either I feed power and earth interchangeably. Didn't make a difference. The pump, the EGR valve still making that noise. So at this stage, I think there's something wrong in that EGR valve, whether it's not opening the valve or it's just blocked. So I'm gonna see what I can do there, and I'll get you back on the video. Alright guys, I just pulled a little pipe that runs on top of that motor, this one here, that just goes from your EGR to your intake manifold. Just pull that pipe off so we can sort of physically see the EGR valve itself in there. Right in there you can see the stem, valve stem there, and the valve sits just, you can see the little hat, the valve itself. Right now it's closed. The port is closed. So basically you got your EGR cooler here. The EGR exhaust gas comes from this way through there, through the EGR cooler and back in there, and that's where you got that. It's where you got that valve sticking out there. I'm just trying to get the focus right there. You can see a lot of carbon buildup in there. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put power and earth in that EGR and see if that moves. I'll get you focused there. I'm just going to put power and earth. You can hear the EGR coming on. I'll just switch the polarity quickly, see if that makes it any different, because we don't know which way it's opening and which way it's closing. So I'm just going to switch the polarity quickly. So I'm just going to put power on earth again, and still not moving. And you can hear the EGR going. This is how I diagnose the EGR fault. If you guys know some other ways you do it, just let me know in the comment section. Alright, I got a new EGR valve. This is a genuine from Nissan. Pretty expensive valve, to be honest. Now I'm just gonna go through this a little bit with you. So basically at the top you got your connector. That's where I'm putting my jumper leads. I'm just gonna feed power on earth to you and see if this valve moves, and the same way I was showing it to you on the engine. That valve there in that hole, so that's the valve's name, and that's your valve. If you look on the other side, you can see the valve. So we're just gonna see if this valve moves if we put power on earth, just to prove our test. Earlier we did. So just gonna get you focused there, and I just got my jumper. Pack, and with just a power probe, I'm gonna put some power on earth into that connector. So I'm just gonna feed, I don't know which way it's gonna go where, I'm just gonna feed power now. And if you can see it or not, I can see it, I can hear that valve's moving. So I'm just gonna switch the polarity of the power on earth, and let's see what it does. I think that's just trying to close. I'm just going to go back to the way I had it, power on earth. I think that's the way it's going to work. So I'll get you guys focus in there, and I'm going to put power. Can you see that? I'm just going to turn it around so you can see it better on that side. See that valve's opening and closing? That we did not see on the EGR valve. That's still in the car. So yeah, that's how I do a EGR valve diagnosis. Thank you.